And our next guest, Sirius XM NBA radio host, New Orleans Pelicans TV color analyst, Fox Sports Radio NBA analyst, world champion, friend of the show, Antonio Daniels is back. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas?
It's great to talk with you. Yeah, man. I hope you had a good offseason.
Yes. Oh, definitely did. Truly blessed. How are you guys?
We are great, man. Great to be speaking with you again. And let's start with the in-season tournament. The Pelicans are still alive. They won yesterday. I expected them to lose to the Kings. Good win for them. And they await the winner of the Suns and Lakers game tonight. So first, just tell me in general, what are your thoughts of the tournament? Do you think this is a good thing? Is this something you would have liked and enjoyed back when you played?
Oh, my gosh, yes. Yeah, I love it. And for me, anytime you have this amount of engagement in late November, early December, when you're in competition with the college football playoffs, bowl season, the NFL, I think it's fantastic. A lot of people had issues with the courts and the colors of the courts and all this other kind of stuff. I didn't. I liked it because I knew that if I was watching a game with a court that I didn't recognize, that it meant something. It meant something different. So I think that Adam Silver and the NBA's brain trust, similar to the play-in tournament, they knocked this out the park. Obviously, there may be some little tweaks moving forward. On our show, we talked about the point differential. And is there another way to possibly rank teams outside of point differential because you're putting players in harm's way, so on and so forth, this and that. But overall, I love it.
Antonio, could not disagree with you more. I think this is another – when we look back at Adam Silver's run as NBA commissioner, this will be another one of the load management, different colored courts to try to get people. Why not just get, if the players who fans want to see would just play it during that time.
How do you do that, Rob?
This is not like college football didn't start last week and people watch the NBA. The NFL has always been around during this time. It's not going to change. If the NFL puts 4 games on Christmas against the NBA, the NFL is going to win. Does that mean you need to change the color of the courts? I just don't even understand the whole rationale of it. I don't.
Okay, so here's my question, because you said guys just need to play. And I could not agree with you more. But there are certain things that we say in real life that are easy to say and difficult to do. Cliché statements. Like when as a player, when the coach says, we have to play 48 minutes of mistake-free basketball. That's impossible.
I get that, but I just think the league, like this is not soccer. You're not reinventing the wheel. I just don't believe anybody's going to say, "Oh, LeBron won the first play-in tournament." Oh, he has a mark over Michael Jordan. That makes him the GOAT. Or if he loses, people will say, nobody cares about that tournament. That you can't hold that against LeBron.
Here's the thing.
Who wins on this?
Right. What Chris did not say, he asked how I felt about the tournament. He didn't ask if I feel like these tournaments will impact guys' legacy.
Antonio, I'm personally with you. I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think there's no harm to it. And I think years from now, I think eventually this will become a big thing. Obviously it's not the NBA championship and it's not meant to be. But I think like 15 years from now, 10 years from now, Jordan won't be even in this. But if you're talking about some of the greats, you might say, so-and-so has 3 rings and 5 in-season tournament championships.
Chris, I don't believe that's going to be. I don't believe that's ever going to be a conversation.
I don't think it can be a problem.
I can tell you this though. I'm going to tell you what I can tell you. And calling the game last night in Sacramento, in the in-season tournament in the quote unquote the quarterfinals, I have not called a game this early in December that felt like that one. I can tell you that, Rob.
Because guys, look, Antonio, when you were in college, and you guys played in a Christmas tournament, it wasn't the end of the world. It didn't mean you were going to the NCAA
but you
tournament.
Wanted to win it.
Right. You're competitive. You want to win it.
We weren't even getting financially compensated either.
Exactly. That's all it is.
All right. I'm the old guy. Get off my lawn, but it just hasn't moved me. I see the courts, Antonio. They just don't. I like to watch NBA basketball, and I don't need bells and whistles and colors to get me attracted.
And I mean this respectfully, though, Rob. You're like, it's not just about you. Because this engagement, you're a basketball head, though. You love basketball. It's about bringing in other people that maybe aren't as in tune to the NBA as you are.
Antonio, he loves baseball, and if they painted the baseball infield purple, he'd love it.
I would not. I love baseball, but I'm not going to get into it like that. All right, let's go on to something else.
Let me ask you this quick, because we talked about you calling games for the Pelicans. How do you feel about them? I mean, I honestly, we're seeing a lot of young teams. I mentioned the Kings. Obviously Orlando out east. You've got Oklahoma City. You got Minnesota in the West. And that's where the Pelicans are supposed to be, in my view. Like, they're supposed to be near the top of the conference. And maybe they'll get there, but they're not right now. How do you feel about how they're playing, and specifically Zion? He's playing regularly, which we all love. But I would like to see more than 5.5 rebounds a night from a guy with that, physical ability. What's your take on the Pelicans and Zion?
Well, here's the thing about New Orleans thus far. They haven't been healthy. Again, that's been the issue so far. So we can look at Zion playing in games. He just played his first back-to-back this past weekend. We can look at B.I. being healthy, but Trey Murphy just came back. Trey Murphy played in his second game of the year yesterday. His second game of the year. C.J. McCollum just returned from a collapsed lung. Jose Alvarado just came back about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Najee Marshall about a week before that. So when you're not healthy, it's tough to kind of get a sense of what the team can become. But I will tell you this. They check all the boxes. They check all the boxes. When you look at length, athleticism, defensive prowess, toughness, firepower, star power, and versatility, the ability to play big and small, they check every box when they're healthy. And as Mike Brown said yesterday, when you get guys back like C.J. McCollum and Jose Alvarado and Trey Murphy, that makes this team so incredibly difficult to defend. Because you're not defending Zion with one guy. You're going to throw multiple guys at him. Once you throw multiple guys at him, now you have other guys that can knock shots down. So it's tough to make an assessment on this team right now, but the one thing that I can tell you from day one of training camp, even though Jose wasn't in training camp and Najee wasn't in training camp and Trey Murphy wasn't in training camp, is the fact that they check all the boxes across the board.
Okay. Let me ask you about Denver. Do you like them? Obviously, trying to repeat is very difficult. Jamal Murray with the ankle injury, but they got a lot of, I like their team a lot, and as long as the Joker's there and if they get him, if they're completely healthy, I like them to repeat. Where are you just watching Denver this year so far?
Here's my thing with Denver. I am not on the side of it's Denver and then everybody else. I don't feel that way. I feel like depth in this league is incredibly important. But it depends on the perspective that you're looking at it from. The fact that Bruce Brown is no longer there, the fact that Jeff Green is no longer there. Now the best player that you have coming off your bench right now is Christian Brown. They have a legitimate five. We know that. They have a great starting five that is battle-tested, that is experienced, and that have gone and won an NBA championship. But once you get past those five, what are you looking at? That's my issue with the Denver Nuggets so far. So I'm not on the side of, well, it's the Denver Nuggets atop the West, and then everybody else is the next tier down. I don't feel that way.
Antonio, if you can do it in 30 seconds, we know you played for the Spurs, so you're connected to that organization. What are your thoughts on Victor Wembanyama?
Fan. I'm a fan, but just like I told the Spurs fans this summer, it's going to be a process. He is not stepping into the same situation that Tim Duncan stepped into. where you have David Robinson and Sean Elliott and Avery Johnson and Mario Elliott and Steve Kerr and all those guys there. So it's going to be a process of growth and learning. And this is weird because the Spurs fans aren't accustomed to this. They aren't accustomed to losing at this level. But you can't deny the fact that you've ever seen a 7'5" man this fluid and this skilled. But it's still going to take time, no matter how you look at it.
He's giving you 20, 10, and 3 blocks.
And
individually, right? It's not even close.
Not the rookie of the year. He's
no, is that Holmgren?
Yep.
Right?
No, but let me ask you this: with the way that they're losing, what is that about? I know they got a young team.
I don't put that on him at all.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not even bringing up Wemby. I'm just meaning in general. What? I'm shocked. It's like 30-point losses every other night.
Know, but the thing is, like Rob, we know old teams don't win in this league, and really young teams don't win in this league. That is a really, really young basketball team. Like, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. That Houston, to turn the corner, they had to bring in Jeff Green, Van Vliet, and Dylan Brooks, and a new coach in Ime Udoka. You have to have a mix of youth and athleticism and exuberance with guys that are battle-tested, experienced, and that have been there before.
All right,
so
that's our man.
You're going to have to add some guys to that roster.
That's our man, Antonio Daniels. Great to talk to you, man. I look forward to speaking to you through the season.
Yes, sir. See you later, buddy.
For sure. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.